Teta kisonik warmitachu. Chaytu tamhat perullar akun. Manam llakikurqapaqchu. O chillaymantapas, nanaynimantapas.
Claudia Llosa's film, The Milk of Sorrow, takes us on Fausta's journey as she heals from the generational trauma that was passed on to her by her mother after being raped while pregnant with Fausta. Throughout the 80s, many indigenous families in Peru were victims of violence by both the guerrilla group Sendero Luminoso and the military. In her article, Indigenous Trauma in Mainstream Peru in Claudia Llosa's The Milk of Sorrow, Rebecca Macera states, among Quechua speakers, there is the belief that sorrows and fear can be transmitted from mothers to children through the maternal milk, also known as the milk of sorrow. Thus, Fausta lives with the overbearing fear of being raped, just like her mother, which forces her to insert a potato into her vagina as a means of protection. This video essay will explore Fausta's journey as she heals from this generational trauma. We will carefully analyze the first and final hospital scene to show that by the end of the movie, Fausta shows her growth after she demands to have the potato removed. In her first visit to the hospital, we see Fausta as she has fainted after witnessing her mother's death. Up until this point in the film, Fausta has lived with the generational trauma that she received from her mother. In the first scene, Fausta does not want the potato removed as she believes it is necessary to avoid further trauma in the form of rape. Towards the end of the movie, we see Fausta in the hospital once again. This time, she lies in the hospital bed after begging Noé to have the doctors remove the potato from her. Her choice of removing the potato symbolizes the dissipation of her fear. By making this choice, Fausta has managed to overcome generational trauma as she does not hold the overbearing fear of being raped any longer. A contrast of the film techniques used on the first and second hospital visit further corroborates Fausta's growth. The first hospital scene opens with a close-up on Fausta, her face and hair filling up a majority of the frame. She looks around panicked, contained, and trapped by the shot type, which sheds light onto her state of mind at this moment in the film. That is, she is troubled and in a constant state of fear over being raped. Contrarily, the final hospital scene is filmed further back. A medium close-up, followed by a medium shot of Fausta in the hospital bed, reflects the freed reality she will subsequently experience. In the first hospital visit, the use of low-key lighting accentuates the shadows on Fausta's face. The dramatic and atmospheric darkness achieved by this mode of lighting emphasizes her reluctance to remove the potato. Similar to the use of the close-up, the low-key lighting enhances Fausta's inner turmoil. The lighting technique used in the final hospital visit directly counters that of the initial scene. Fausta is brightly lit through high-key lighting, suggesting the airiness and optimism that this scene presents. The transformation of framing and lighting that occurs from the first hospital sequence to the final heavily reflect Fausta's path towards healing. In the first scene, we hear harsh, metallic, and irregular diegetic sounds.
¿Dónde está mi tío?
¿Tu nombre completo, por favor?
These further reflect Fausta's fears, while in the second scene, we hear the diegetic, softer, and rhythmic sounds of machinery. Contrary to the sounds from the first hospital visit, these point to the increased stability of Fausta's new life. A light flickers in the first hospital scene, which can be interpreted as Fausta's broken state of mind and her inner light as she lives in a perpetual state of fear. However, in the final hospital scene, we see the light shining brightly, which symbolizes Fausta's growth as a person and her resilience as she has finally been liberated from the trauma that plagued her mother and herself. The shining bright light can be interpreted as Fausta's inner light and current state of mind. That is, Fausta will not have her life controlled by the overbearing fear of being raped any longer. Fausta's journey of healing from generational trauma reaches a turning point when she decides to remove the potato from her body. According to scholar Sarah Anderson in her article, Quechuan Voices, The Art of Storytelling Through Song, in the end, the white flower of the potato plant gifted by Noé offers a sign of peace and hope, further confirming Fausta's process of healing and transformation. The white flower is healthy, growing strong, and flourishing, symbolizing Fausta's growth and her new life.